always a very special night because for this particular group of students, you're joining an organization that represents what a legacy is about. We talk here at school about living, loving, learning, and leaving a legacy. This organization is a legacy that's been enduring for generations. And it's a legacy that's established to allow future generations to continue to be honored for their service and commitment to the things that you do here, not only at the school, but home and with your families and at the community at large. So it's always a great evening to have new members inducted into National Honor Society. As we've grown as a school, you've grown with the school. And now you're a new group coming into this class. So it's an honor for me and a privilege to be here for this induction ceremony. I wish you all the best this evening and in all your future endeavors. Thanks to the parents. I appreciate everything you do every day to produce such fine quality young men and women that attend our school. It's truly a privilege for me to be the principal here because of the quality of student that enters our door each day. And they represent our community, this school, and everything around them to the best of their ability every single day. And it's an absolute joy to have the privilege to serve them and to serve you as a community. So thanks, enjoy the evening, and welcome to National Honor Society.
Okay, everybody, we are pleased to have our first guest speaker, Ms. Kasama Lee. We are honored to have her tonight. I haven't known her personally, but from what I hear, she is one of the most fabulous leadership speakers that just leaves you with inspiration and just leaves you wanting more from life. She has lived here for 12 years and is raising her 2 young sons. Her vision is to leave a legacy, doing what she loves, lifting and guiding our next generation to lead and make this world a better place. Now, I want everybody here to know that she does, so if anybody wants to speak to her personally, she comes here every Tuesday for a leadership program for teens. I advise you to go, and I want you guys to put your hands together for our first guest speaker.
Did Rosie do a great job?
Yeah!
Yeah! And Mr. Brewer too, right? Give me 1 second to get set up, okay? Technical difficulty.
To be expected.
Before I begin, first of all, I just want to say that it is truly my honor I was honored to be asked to share a few words with you this evening. I have started in the creative program called Teens in Leadership through the sponsorship of the City of American Canyon last year. It was a special place in my heart that I felt that I've been called to work with the younger generation in leadership development. So I couldn't have asked for a better audience to share with you some talk about leadership, character, and dreaming big. Are you ready to dream big? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So the thing is
Further down.
get this. Okay. So before I begin, I'm going to take this out. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Teens in Leadership program. Last year we started, at the inception of this program, we held it at the Senior Multi-Use Center. And we decided that we wanted to bring this to you so that it would be easier for the students to be able to participate. It's a free program, okay? And we basically hold it here Tuesdays from 4 to 5 p.m. There's some flyers on your way out that you're more than welcome to grab if you're interested in attending. The reason that I am here and I've been asked to come here is because Kaleo Wilson over there, give some love. Kaleo! And a few others, you know, the giggling, the twin brothers, are also there, Carlo and Paolo. And then they have this tricky last name that rhymes with their name. But they have been just a light for me to be able to share the leadership thoughts and, to see the light in their eyes as we do this workshop-style conversations together have been just a blessing for me. So I would love to invite you and to welcome you to join us so that we can create a community of like-mindedness, of people who want to make a difference. I know you're already doing that in your classes and in the different clubs that are here, but we specifically deep dive into leadership conversations, setting goals, and really setting forth, moving you forward in your life in the next chapter when you go to college or whether you're going to go start working. Okay? So that's a little bit about the Teens in Leadership. Now, I want to share this with you. I love the mission statement of the National Honor Society because it has everything to do with bringing good to the world, right? It's about character, it's about leadership, it's about excelling yourself in your academic pursuit, and it's about service. It's about serving and making a difference in the community. And that's truly what leadership is. Now, I'm going to speak to you about some of these values. Particularly, I'm going to be talking to you about dreaming big. If you're going to dream anyway, why not dream big, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I get 3 right, so that's good. That's a start, right?
Hey.
Are you familiar, how many of you are familiar with the famous speech by Martin Luther King Jr. about I have a dream? Okay, all the hands, I got participants back there, right? That's a powerful speech that has changed the world. I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit later on. I had to do this as part of my leadership development work that I do. I was asked to write my own I Have a Dream speech. And once you hear it, you'll understand why your age group and the work that I do with you resonates with me. And I couldn't have asked for a better audience to share that with. So would it be okay for me to share that with you a little bit later on? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm developing some fans here, right? So now I'm going to talk to you about. Let me get this clicker to. All kinds of high tech. Okay, here we go. You're defining moments. I'm bringing some visuals, right, to keep you awake, and the parents in the back. Defining moments. I want to talk to you about that because a defining moment is a moment in your life when a situation happens in your life, and at that moment, you make a decision. You make a decision so that your life will never be the same again, whatever that defining moment may be. Okay? So, for example, when I was a few years younger than you are now, I was 14, my parents told me that I was going to have to leave the country that I grew up in, which was Bangkok, Thailand, to come live in the U.S. with them. I had to, well, here's the kicker. I couldn't speak English. I had to leave all my friends, right, that I knew all my life behind. And I had to come over here and start all over practically so that I could live with my parents. How many of you can relate if you end up having to leave where you are right now and go start all over, a new bunch of friends, and maybe having to learn a brand new language? Could that be a little tough?
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe, right? So my defining moment came when I was able to start hanging out with a group of really just welcoming and warm group of young ladies, okay, with my broken English. And they just took me in, and if you can imagine when you're in 9th grade, it's not very cool to hang out by yourself, right? No. So you had to have some friends. So I had friends that I couldn't really communicate with, but they let me hang out with them anyway. So then one day, I was so touched by the fact that they were embracing me, I decided to craft a speech because I wanted to thank them. I wanted to show my gratitude. So I sat this one girl down, her name is Jackie, and I still remember she had this long, curly, blonde hair. And I started delivering my speech. to Jackie. Jackie looked at me patiently, and she was nodding the whole time. And then when I finished, she said, you know, whatever that you said, I'm sure it was beautiful. I want you to keep working on that speech. And I want you to come back and tell me again, because I want to know what you said. That's how broken my English was, okay? And I said, you can imagine, I was crushed, I was devastated. Have you ever planned something and it didn't go as planned, let alone the audience didn't get it? Well, I was crushed, I was devastated, and I was determined. That was my defining moment. I said, you know what, I am not going to let a language stop me from expressing myself. And I was going to figure out how to master this English language so I could speak like all these people who live here. I was 14. And that was my determination. And because of that, it changed the whole course of my life because I decided that I could do anything that I wanted to. Anything. Right? That has been the formula in my life. So, I would not be here, think about it, I would not be here speaking to you up here, of all places, in my second language, if I wasn't determined to change things, change the situation, the barriers in my life. Does that make sense? Makes sense on this side, where is she going with that, right? So, but that's the defining moment. So what I would encourage you to do is to embrace the next challenge that comes in your life, to look for the opportunity for that defining moment so that you can change the course of the outcome. Look for that defining moment, okay? So that's the first thing I want to talk to you about. The next one is I want you to turn to the person to your left and say to them sincerely, you've got greatness in you. The parents can participate too if you want to. Now, if you don't have anybody, like, if you're in the aisle, no one's saying that to you, but the person next to that person, say it to them, please. Don't let them feel left out. Awesome. They're so touched by being told that they've got greatness in them. Now I'm going to talk to you about leadership. What's the big deal about leadership? Leadership is what has changed the world. Leadership is what has personally changed my life. See, I was one of those kids who didn't like to read. How many of you are not very fond of reading? And it's okay, you're not alone. I'm with you, right? I tried to do whatever I could to not have to read. So I actually picked a math, to become a math major, or to have a math major. Because I was hoping that I could get away without having to read a lot of books, right? Because if you're doing math, you shouldn't be reading. Well, up until about 8 years ago, not, when I was 20, 8 years ago, I started becoming surrounded by people who are amazing in the leadership development space. And one of them told me to read this book by John C. Maxwell, who has become my mentor and a friend. And I read the book and I couldn't put it down. Have you ever had that experience where you picked up a book and it's like, man, this book is speaking to me? Well, that was my experience. And then my mind stretched where it couldn't go back. It grew. And I started seeing possibilities in areas of my life that I didn't see before. And because of that, leadership has been a topic that I'm passionate about. So you say, what's the big deal about leadership? I'm probably asking the wrong group because you're like living and breathing leadership in the NHS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one person is. You'll all be there, right? So what's the big deal about leadership? Leadership is influence. Leadership is seeing things far beyond what others could see. Leadership is doing the right things for others. Leadership is lifting others when they can't do it for themselves. Leadership is speaking up when you see someone getting picked on. even though it has nothing to do with you. Leadership is making a difference and to serve others. So, I have a leadership slide to go with that, and I forgot about that. How's that, right? Jump first. Leadership is leading by example before you ask others, right? Now, with leadership, it's about standing out. It's about being different. It's about thinking outside the box. It's not about standing back. That's leadership. So let's talk about that a little bit. Thinking outside the box. Out of the box, right? How many of you are out of the box people? Or thinking about coming out of the box? Awesome. I love this room. See? Your principal thinks out of the box. Leader. He is a leader. Thank you, Mark. So, about being out of the box, I want to share something with you. When I was growing up, I always felt that there was something different about me, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. First of all, I came here, and I was a skinny little kid who looked different, who talked different, and people actually couldn't understand me, because when I tried to talk, they didn't understand me. I just stood out, you know? And then on top of it, my name is Kasama. What kind of name is Kasama?
A beautiful one.
Oh, thank you.
God,
Thank you. You got my back, right? What kind of name is Kasama? I remember people would try to say my name, and they would call me Kasima, Kamasa. I mean, they tried. Cassandra. And I would answer to all of them, you know why? Because I couldn't bear the embarrassment of them trying to figure out how to say my name. Then, because I'm from Thailand, I don't know if you know this, Thai people have very long last names. So my maiden name, so I decided to marry a Lee, right? So life is much better. My maiden name had 11 letters in it. 11.
say it.
It's Samapan, but it's spelled with all these silent letters. I figured you guys would want to know, right? I don't know why, because you're not going to remember it. It's Samabhandh. I lived with that until I became a Lee, right? But here's the deal. I don't know how the college applications are today, but back then, you know how you have to fit a letter inside a box, right? There's a box for every letter. My last name never fit on any one application. I did not fit inside the box, not even my name. Does that make sense? I don't know if they make them longer now, hopefully, but I used to just, like, why am I so different? And I used to resent it. I wanted to fit in. And then I grew up. Then I started working, and I got into the business world. And I would have to make phone calls, right, to people that didn't know me, and I had to say my name. Kasama Samapan. No, so I just stopped. I just went with Madonna, and I went, my name's Kasama. I don't think you're going to find another Kasama. Well, the next time I would call them back, guess what? You think they remembered me? Yes. Oh, yeah. When you have to struggle to remember somebody's name, especially in business, they'll remember you the next time. So then I realized, in the real world, it pays to be different. It's good to stand out. Your uniqueness is what makes you stand out of the crowd. Inside of you right now, and I want you to hear me clearly, there's a song inside of you. I share this with the guys in the teams and leadership, and they were wiggling out of their seats. There is a song inside of you that can only be sung by you, that people need to hear. That's your uniqueness. It's your passion. That's your purpose, right? You know how when you tune into a radio station to listen to the kind of songs that you like, right? And then you tune in one day, all those songs are gone, and there's a different kind of songs that are playing. What would you do?
Sing your own song.
You would sing your own song, or you would tune to a new station, wouldn't you? You keep singing your song, and some of you may not know what I'm talking about, but someday you will. When you find that song inside of you, keep singing it until the right people tune into your station. You don't change it. Be firm and find your passion and discover it and explore it and live your life in alignment with that. Because the right people will find you, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got me all excited, okay? So remember that. Remember that you have a song that belongs to you. Lives are waiting to be impacted by you. But if you fold, they will miss their opportunities as well, won't they? Okay? So that's about being outside the box. Is it good to be outside the box now? Yes. What I want you to do now is to turn to the person. What did I ask you to do? Turn to the left before?
Yes.
The person to the right. And tell them, oh, that's me. Wasn't I adorable with those crazy little jeans? Talk about being different. I know I look tall because I was really skinny, but I was, well, maybe I was taller and I shrunk. I don't know. Okay? That was me in Thailand before I came. So now you know it's true, right? You were wondering. Say to the person to your right, you're special. Mark is like working the role. Everybody's special. Thank you, Mark, for playing. So, so here's the thing. When you stand out, when you're different, not everybody's going to get you, are they? And you're going to go through life, and there are going to be times in your life when people who don't get you, or they don't like your song, will make fun of you. Will laugh at what you're trying to do because you're following your passion, because you're living bigger, because you're different. And when that happens, I want you to remember this. When they say it cannot be done,
It can be done.
that's right, it can be done. Or you say, please don't interrupt me. I'm doing it.
Sorry.
When they say, it's too hard, you say, watch me. When they say, they ask, why? Why would you want to bother? You say what? Why not? Right?
Yes, sir.
When they say, this is the best one, when they say you're weird,
Yes, sir.
yes I am. No. You say, I'm proud to be weird. When they say you're weird, you say, excuse me, I am limited edition. Limited editions are sitting back there, standing ovation. Awesome. It's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? Isn't it? Depends how you look at it. Now, I'm going to talk to you about character. Well, this is a character, but that's not the character I'm going to, okay? Because that's part of your mission. That's part of your mission statement. You see, character is doing the right thing when no one is watching. Character is how you treat others when they cannot do anything for you. Be more concerned about your character than your reputation. Because your character is what you are, and your reputation is what people think you are. With character, it comes with a price tag. It comes with challenges, obstacles. It comes with humility. It comes with courage. It comes with belief and integrity. There's a price you pay to develop your character, but do you think it's worth it? Character is everything. It's how you're remembered, right? It's your action. So, when you think of character, think about a seed that you would put in the ground, right? It needs watering, it needs sunlight, it needs nurturing for the seed to turn into a plant, correct?
Yes.
Your character needs all of those things. He knew I was going to say, see? I was going to say that. Your character needs nurturing, it needs empowering, encouraging words, it needs positive people around you, it needs like-minded peers. Grow your character. It takes time. Be protective of your character because that's who you become for the rest of your life, no matter where you show up. Okay? That's character. Now, if you're going to dream anyway, why not dream big, right?
Yes.
If you're familiar with these names, Mother Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah. Gandhi?
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy?
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr.?
Yeah.
And for those of you who have an iPhone in your possession, the late Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
these individuals were ordinary people with extraordinary dreams and visions. And they changed the world, didn't they?
Yes.
That's about dreaming big. If you're going to dream anyway, it doesn't cost you anymore to dream bigger, right?
Yep.
Now, remember I told you that I would share with you I have a dream speech? Would it be okay for me to share that with you?
Yes.
Awesome. I have a dream. A dream that our youth know in their hearts they are loved unconditionally. They have the freedom to pursue their dreams courageously and discover the greatness inside of them. I have a dream. A dream that our youth around the world realize that what they think, do, and say matter. For them to realize that their messages and their voices are being heard. And they too can be the agents of change. To make a difference and impact other lives through their positive attitude and their leadership actions. I have a dream that our youth develop a like-mindedness of servant leadership, of making a difference, of mentoring the younger generation, and of being role models worth following. I have a dream of the ripple effect of good that is inspired through pragmatic leadership, critical thinking, and life skills education and implementation. I have a dream that through our next generation, our world is a better place to live, filled with harmony, peace, humility, courage, and kindness for one another. I have a dream the gift of communication that God has given me will be used to take our youth's mindset to their level of greatness. My contribution and my passion in leadership development will fill the minds of our young leaders who care about their families, their communities, and their ability to influence others. My creation of the Young Leadership Academy will be the platform for our youth to discover, develop, and define their voices that will bring forth greatness in the world. I have a dream of having my 2 sons and my husband sitting in the audience, listening to me, not as a mother or a wife, but as a person who is committed to the work of transformation. The person who pours into these young, impressionable minds so they will live into their passion and their greatness. I have a dream that my legacy will be passed on through the lives of our next generation living their lives of significance. I have a dream. What would your I have a dream speech say? It'll change, it'll grow with you, but what would it say? As I'm leaving you, and it's been an honor for me to be here with you, I want to leave with you some questions and some thoughts to ponder. How do you want this year at American Canyon High School to be remembered for you? What does this chapter look like for you? Will you leave this place better than when you found it? This year matters. Make it memorable, make it count, make it significant. People are waiting to be impacted by you, and you matter. Now, I'm going to leave with you a quote that has always brought me back home when life just smacks me around for being different, right? And for really following my passion. It's always brought me home, and I hope that it serves you. And I have a slide for that, so you can follow along. It's by the late Jim Rohn. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. It's been an honor, a privilege. Thank you.